Good afternoon and welcome to the latest of All Access Plays, where we are looking at Raid Shadow Legends from the perspective of a new player, and there are a few things which this video would like to highlight. Now, the first thing to mention, which hasn't been mentioned before as far as I'm aware, is that this is very much a game of luck in many ways. Now, what you do with that luck determines how you progress through the game, and everyone's account will play differently for one very specific reason, and that is random number generation. At its most simple, imagine a six-sided die of the kind that we all used to use in games like Snakes and Ladders, and how each time you roll it you get a different result. Raid Shadow Legends uses this on a far larger scale, and this is nowhere more apparent than in the heroes that you can get from Mystery Shards, Ancient Shards, Void Shards, Primal Shards, and Sacred Shards. Now, as you can see here, it tells you what they can pull. Mystery Shard is common and rare. Ancients are rare, epics, and legendaries. Voids are rare, epic, and legendaries, but of the Void affinity, whereas the Ancients will be Spirit, Magic, Force. Void Shards will be Void champions. Primal Shards can be any, all the way up to Mythical, and Sacreds are epic and legendary. Now, the first mistake that a lot of new players make is they look at the fact that you can pull legendaries and they assume that they are far more plentiful than they actually are. Let me tell you this, the rate of drops for champions, especially if there's a specific champion you're looking for, can be brutal, and it can be very discouraging. So what you want to do is you want to mitigate that gambling risk, for want of a better term, and you can do this by looking at the default summoning chances. Now, there's a wall of text here that you can read at your own leisure. I'm not going to go through it all myself, but look at the numbers. So, you have an almost 75% chance of pulling a common from a mystery shard. Almost 25% chance for an uncommon. And the balance of that, 0.7%, 0.6% uncommon and 0.8% of common, gives you that 1.4% chance for a rare. Ancient Shards give you an 83% chance to pull a rare. So, 16% for epic leaves 1% for legendary. Similar profiles for void, apart from the fact it's even more weighted towards the bottom end of the scale, with 91% rare, 0.5% rare, 8% epic, and only 0.5% for legendary. Thing to note is when you're looking at the primals, the primal will give you almost the same chance to pull a rare as an ancient, and is much, much rarer. The only difference being is that extra 0.5% off the rare goes towards mythical. So it's very, very unlikely that you'll get a mythic from a primal shard. That's not to say it can't happen, but at 0.5%, that is something like 1 in 200. That's not a good odd at all. And Sacred Shards, 94% epic, 6% legendary. So Sacreds are your best bet to get legendaries, but Sacreds are among the hardest shards to actually get in the game, especially when you're starting out. So that's the default, but there is a mercy system. And the mercy system is for Ancient and Void, which are tracked separately. If you get 20 summons without an epic, it gives you a chance to get an epic per shard. So it looks at how many times you've pulled a rare, about 83%, and gone, you haven't had an epic yet, here's an epic. So ideally you want to bank 20 of these shards, so that, well, 21 in effect, so that if you get 20 summons without an epic, your next one is a guaranteed epic. Same with legendaries, 200. Remember what I said about that 1 in 200% chance on mythical? Well, it's 1% and 0.5% on void, so similar. So if you get 200 summons without a legendary, it will give you a legendary. And then you have the primal shards. After 75 summons without a legendary, it will give you a legendary, and after 200 summons without a mythical, it will give you a mythical. And sacreds, 12 summons without a legendary, it will give you a legendary. So whilst your default summoning chances are low, if you learn to effectively game the system so that you know when you are due a guaranteed win, which is what the mercy system is, then you can work around it. Now, when you're talking of ancients and voids, the epics and legendaries are tracked separately, and with the primals, the legendary and the mythic are tracked separately. So 75 summons without legendary, you get a legendary. So that's 76 summons. So you can work out that when you've got 2 legendaries from the mythical system, you're not far off getting a mythical on the primals. Likewise, you need 10 epics if the mercy system kicks in, and you'll be looking at a legendary. That mitigates the brutality of the RNG system somewhat, but it is what it is. Likewise, gear. This is probably the most complex part of the game, and this is where the game will also lead you down a blind alley with the challenges. Do we still have them? No. Okay, so things like the Win 3 helmets, Win 3 shields, that's fine. Okay, but equip an attack type champion with 3 offense sets, which you can see I've done here. And it was Kale. Now this is very nice. 15% on attack on a 2 set. Do not be bound by the sets. Sets are a very nice bonus to have, but the actual stats that the items themselves give you are far more important. And it's that you should be looking at. It is the stats on the pieces that are the most important. Now, as you can see here, I've got HP percentage on the boots. Ideally, you want to be going for speed on boots every time. The more speed you have, the more turns you get, and the quicker you will go in the turn order at the start of a combat. And if you're fast enough, you will always go first. And if you've managed to get your stats right on an attack champion, the attack champion goes first, deals a lot of damage because he's got high attack. Like defense here does not much at all, whereas attack here does. That will boost the amount of damage that Kale can do. If you can go first and you've got high enough attack, if you've got high enough crit rate to get your crit rate, which is here, up to 100%, so they're always doing a critical, you then want to work on crit damage so that your crit damage is always going to give you a huge boost to your actual attack. So attack, crit rate, crit damage, with speed leading the pack. That's kind of what you want to be doing. Some champions are based on hit points, and it'll say here underneath where it says rare here, some champions will have hit points. When you see that, that's when you want to stack things like HP gear, HP on the chest piece. As you can see here, that's got an attack as well. That's where you want to be looking at things. And again, and I cannot reiterate this isn't enough, the number one area in which you will waste silver is basically removing equipment that you don't want and keeping it. As you can see, 2-star, it'll cost me 5,000 to remove. I will not get 5,000 for selling it. So I'm going to destroy all of the pieces on War Priest, because no, I don't want to upgrade. Misclick, remove. See how easy it is to do? So you want to remove these, destroy, confirm, because at the end of one of the stages you get 3 stars. Now again, this is not the best set for her to have, it's just that she's got probably the best way of using it. Again, defense boots, not great, you want speed, but we don't have speed right now, so we'll do the best with what we've got. To show you how the random number generator works, is we are going to upgrade to level 4. As you can see, you cannot upgrade past level 8 until the account level is level 25. This account level at the moment of recording is level 14, so we're going to upgrade to level 4. We're not going to upgrade to level 8, but we're going to see which of these gets improved. Ideally, we want either speed or attack percentage. They are the two that we really are looking for. And we go through the mini game, which we've got no choice over, and we've got hit points, which is not what we're looking for. Now, because it's a purple, because it's epic, 3 substats have been revealed. That's the main thing that you're looking for on higher rarities, are the amount of substats that have been revealed as opposed to being hidden on commons. So we know if we were to take this to level 12, we get a chance at speed, hit points or attack. The thing is, we might hit points every single time, and whilst that will help us very early game as we are now to stay alive, it's not going to help us in the long term. So ideally we want to be looking to find similar sort of piece if we can, because it'll always have flat rate attack on as the main stat, but we want to be looking for speed, attack and something other than hit points if we can at this kind of range, and then rolling and getting these. To show you again, we'll go with a hit point gloves, nah. Hit point chest, nah. As you can see, these are 3 stars and epic, but they're just not very good. Just to show you just how it works, we'll do another one. And this time we get speed, which is decent, but it's not a great piece of gear to begin with. So we don't want to be spending a huge amount of silver upgrading it, and as you can see, upgrading it now costs us 2,000, and every success we get will increase that. Every fail that we have will cost us that amount of gold, so silver. So we don't want to be doing that a huge amount of time. The other part of the RNG is in shard summons. Like I've got 13 here, I've got space for 30 champions, so as you can see, 5,000 silver to summon 10. There you go, nearly all commons with 2 uncommons. Not a bad pull having 2 uncommons, but the reason I've done this is so that I can show you the next thing that you need to be aware of. The next thing you need to be aware of is Kale can go to level 30. He's already at level 20. When you look at a lot of guides, they will tell you to push your starter champion to 60, and they kind of gloss over the main point on how to do so. Well, first of all, you need to get him to level 30. That's point number 1. He has to be max level. So here we have a character that has reached max level for his rank. He's a 1 star, he's got level 10. So we now go to upgrade rank. So now, in order to upgrade his rank, we need to sacrifice a 1 star champion. And because it's rank 1, we only need to do 1. So we upgrade, and again, you'll see it costs silver. Okay, so now he's rank 2. So now he can get to rank 20, which is the same as the greens. We're going to choose him, because we need to upgrade the level for a mission, and we don't have any red, so we're going to use a blue. So we only get half the amount, 2/3 of the amount of an XP brew, but it's enough to take him from 8 to 12, which is what we're looking for the mission. Again, costs a silver, and you can see we've increased the champion's level in the tavern 3 times. He's now level 12. Because he's got 2 stars, he'll go to rank 20. He's not rank 20 yet, so we can't upgrade him. But whereas this guy, who was rank 1, had a 1 star and required 1, these will now have 2 of these slots unlocked, and they will be 2 stars, meaning that I will have to sacrifice 2 2-star champions. If I don't want to get rid of an uncommon because I don't have very many champions, I've got a 2-star that I've just made from a 1-star. So straight away, that means I can save the greens by levelling up another 1-star to 10, and then sacrificing one of these 1-stars to make one of them a 2-star. He's 2-star, so we could do that to him, get him, and then I'll have 2 of them to 2 stars, and when it gets to 20, we can then go, right, okay, he's now got to 20, we'll sacrifice the other 2 that we've made, make him a 3-star. We don't want to level him further if we're going to use him for food. That's the terminology that is used in the game, because what Kale requires, when he hits level 30, is to have 3 3-star champions that you don't want to use for food. You will be tempted to use blue champions, but as you've seen, blues are not easy to get, so you want to save them. So you want to make greens and greys 3-star, so that you can then go, right, okay, Kale's at 30, I've now got 3 3-star champions at level 1 that I don't want, and you repeat the process that I've just showed you with the Thrall. This will mean that he gains a star. He won't change his rarity, he'll still be a rare champion, but now he'll be a 4-star champion, which means that his level will go up to 40, meaning that he's stronger, he has access to more things in the game, so like the accessories, and you repeat this from 4-star to 5-star, and then when you get to 5-star, once you get 5 5-star ranked champions that you don't want, and you feed it to a 5-star to make them a 6-star, you've then got them to the maximum level that you can. That means they can't go any higher in terms of stars, and their maximum level is 60. That is what people mean when they talk about 6-starring your starter champion, which is never a bad thing to do. And it can take some time. It is a grind. A lot of the game is about grind. And as you can see, I've unlocked a quest. I've unlocked a couple of quests there with accessory upgrades and upgrading the champion. 2 other things to note. As time goes on, you will notice that there are events. These are the current events, and because I've gained some artifacts from doing the campaign missions, and it's decided to go on a go slow. Okay, we won't do that. What we'll do is we will quickly, actually, you know what, go back to Bastion, do a battle, go to dungeon, and we'll do level 1 of the magic key. Okay, you've got to do level 3. We've got him to 4, so we're going to take him up to 2 stars. So, because you've got so few characters, you're going to get a couple of characters that you're not bothered about running, you're not bothered about them gaining any levels. But keeping your squad full means that any extra XP that is earned can be used to level them anyway. Now, running dungeons for experience is not very cost efficient. You're much better off doing campaign, but this is to show you that even as a new player, only a day old on this account, you can start looking at various aspects of the game. Now, you will ultimately spend a lot of time in the potion keeps, because as I showed you about rank, you've also got what's called Ascension, and that turns your yellow stars into purple stars. Some champions, when they get to 3 purple stars, unlock another skill, or they might unlock an aura or other ability. But part of the reason why I'm doing this is to show you that you can earn points on the beginners tournament at the very outset. And as you can see, part of the reason why I like Chaos so much is because of the poison, does damage, and that damage scales with the level of the enemy. So at this level it doesn't do a lot, but at later levels it will do much more. And bump. Level 15, so another 3 energy, and another unlock, the Guardian Ring, which isn't that great, and 7 points towards the newbie champion. Now, I've now hit 60. Will it show me events? Yes. So because I've earned points for just doing artifacts, just doing campaign, it's always worth checking these out, because that's 50,000 silver. That's quite a decent amount for this level. We don't want flash offers. I've still got one of these, which I'm waiting until the last possible minute to claim, so that I can maximise my gain on energy. And likewise in the tournament, I've got a reward here to claim 5 shards, which, as you saw me spend 10, is quite decent. And change name gives an energy pot for when I claim it. As you can see, I've only got 78 points, so I'm not going to win this. There's no point in having this many points. Absolutely none whatsoever. You could argue, if you were pushing for first place, maybe 1700, because you've got someone who's chasing you in third place like that. So if these two were the top 2, that'd be reasonable. This, just for an ancient shard, not worth it in my opinion. That you're spending far too many resources basically for bragging rights. But at 100 points, which I'm only 22 off, another 50,000 silver. And 200 points, you get the XP brews, which is what I used to level up the champion 3 times. 500 gives you another rare 3-star champion. And then you've got your speed set at 1000, which is what you should be pushing for. Now, we've got a day left on mine, so we're going to try and do that. And that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I will go more into gear on another video, but don't be afraid of putting your low level artifacts on champions, the 1 and 2 stars, finding out what works for you, what you get, but do not remove them. Destroy them if you're going to replace them, because you will not get the silver back when you go to sell. To give you an idea, 1 star, sell, 1 star, 500. So you could have spent 2,000 or 5,000 to take that artifact off, and you're only getting 500 back. You will very rapidly lose out silver that way, and you need that silver for your Sartrumans, you need that silver for your tavern and hero upgrades. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.